Good afternoon, dear grade 9 students. Hope you're doing well, miss. For today, we will be starting in our new chapter, which is chapter 8 resistors. We already made a few introduction in our classes about the resistors. We spoke about its uses in our daily life, where we can find it. We say it's present in some electrical devices that need the heat energy as the heater and boiler, and we said we doesn't need it in other applications. When I'm speaking about the refrigerator, when I'm speaking about the television, and etc. So for today we will be starting writing down these notes and starting by the explanation of our lesson. So first of all, part A, we will be starting by the definition of a resistor. As its name implies, it's an electrical appliance. This electrical appliance will resist the passage of electric current. What do we mean when we say resist? As we previously explained, resist يعني يقاوم, so it prevents or limits the passage of electric current. Then it's an electrical appliance that resists the passage of electric current. We said also in our classes for some applications we need this passage of the electric current, يعني as heater and boiler. So in this case the resistor is transforming the electrical energy into heat energy. Then it transforms electric energy into heat energy. So what about its shape? How can we see? Approximately it has a cylindrical shape. So it has a cylindrical shape. In the circuit it will be represented, يعني its symbol will be a rectangle containing the letter اللي هي capital R. Sometimes يعني هي mostly it doesn't appear in our circuits, but sometimes its symbol is like that. يعني في عندي folded coil كأنه. It has this shape. So the importance of a resistor that it can be connected from both terminals. يعني if I'm connecting this terminal to the positive pole of the battery and this terminal to the negative pole of the battery, it gives a true indication. Or otherwise, if I'm connecting this to the negative pole of the battery and this to the positive pole of the battery, it also gives a true indication. So in this case there is no true or wrong indication. We can't say like that in resistor because the two terminals are identical. Isn't the terminals of the resistor are the same or are identical. So the two terminals of the resistor are identical. The last point to be mentioned in the definition, so the resistor will be having a resistance. So what is the unit of this resistance? The unit of the resistance, we already listened about it from the ohm meter, from the multimeter from previous lessons. So قلنا أنه unit of resistance it will be ohm, and its symbol, the symbol of the unit will be having this shape. إذن هيدي is the ohm, which is the unit of the resistance. For this point we are done with the definition of the resistor. Let's continue now. You can, as we always say, you can stop the video and copy the notes on your copybook. If you're copying some of the notes on your copybook, just add the extra notes. Let's continue. Now, let's start with the part B. The part B will be the Ohm's law. طيب. Till this point we said that the resistor, it resists the passage of the electric current in the circuit. يعني for sure there is a relation between the resistance and the current, and of course there will be a direct relation with the voltage اللي هو حيكون passing through the circuit. That's why there is a relation between these three electrical measurements. It states by the Ohm's law, it says إنه U equal R times I. Now we will go a little bit for math. We will be going for 2 minutes, like 2 minutes, and then we will return back to our course. So let's start first. From maths, so this will be the math corner. From maths, we have to know there is an equation of the straight line, which is y equal ax. In this equation, teacher, we will be having two axes. For sure, the vertical axis will be called y, and the horizontal axis will be called x. And this will be the origin اللي هو 0. In this case, yes, when I'm having the equation y equal ax, the figure obtained will be a straight line, and this straight line will be passing through the origin. يعني we can see إنه we are having a straight line, isn't it straight? جالسة plus it's passing through the point O. point O شو بسميها؟ point O هي عبارة عن الأوريجين. So we spoke about y, it appears on the vertical axis. We spoke about x, it appears in the horizontal axis. We still didn't speak about the point A. The point A يمس هي عبارة, it is the slope. The slope يمس will be equal to y over x. We can take it from this equation. A equal y, the x هم multiplied بتروح تاني it will be divided, so the slope A is equal to y over x. This is the math corner. You have to be writing this in a box and call it a math corner. Let's now return to our physics. Why are we explaining this? We are explaining this actually to be using it in Ohm's law. Let's start. Ohm's law, the equation of it is U equal R times I. It's very similar, or it's the identical actually, of Y equal A times X. So let's start. If I'm trying to draw the figure, this time on the vertical axis, what do I have? I have y, which is u. And on the horizontal axis, what do I have in this time? I have the I. I will be obtaining a straight line passing through the origin, and it's the same equation. Then I will be obtaining a straight line, and this straight line will be passing through origin. So, come in, I spoke about U, I spoke about I, but I didn't spoke yet about the resistance. The resistance will be equal to what, yes? The resistance will be also the slope. It will be equal to y على x. In this case, it will be equal to U over I. That's why we are speaking about this notion of math, because we will be using it in physics. Now, in order to be understanding what we are doing, we will be directly giving some numbers to apply the Ohm's law. Let's start. Please stop the video, copy the notes, then continue. We're still under the same title, which is Ohm's law. Let's see. يلا given شو عم بيقول لي؟ Given the following table. And he's asking me to draw the characteristic UI curve. Let's see what's given in the table. The table given actually, it was 3 rows. It's given the current in ampere. In the second row we have the voltage in volts, and in the third row we have the resistance that's equal to U over I, and its unit will be for sure ohm. Let's start. Yeah, the first point عطاني إياه هون, he told me 0 0, then 0.01 and 1, third 0.02 and 2, fourth 0.03 and 3, later on the last one, which is 0.04 and 4. So let's start. First of all, he asked me to draw the characteristic UI curve. Teacher, when I'm asked to draw the characteristic UI curve, يعني I'm asked to draw the graph of the variation of the current as a function of voltage. But in physics, what do we call it? We call it the characteristic UI curve. يعني first of all, I'm having two axes. As in biology, the first one is x, the second one is y. So the first one is here in the graph and the second is here. Even though I'm working physics, but I have to be taking care of all the steps in drawing a graph. So let's start. What do we have here? We have the current in ampere. And what do we have? The voltage in volt. And we have here the origin. Let's start. What are the values to be put on the x-axis? 0, 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, etc. And what's the perfect scale? 0.01, right? 0.02, 0.03, 0.04. I used a scale. I tell إنه I'm using a scale on the x-axis. عشان هيك I wrote horizontal شو اسمه arrow. والarrow it has to be only 1 centimeter. It's taken as 0.01 with the unit ampere. On the y-axis, what are the units? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I have to be using 1 as a scale. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what is the scale I've used here? I used the scale of 1. What is the unit? Volt. Let's try plotting the points. أول شيء, when the voltage was 0, the current was 0. When the voltage was 1, the current was 0.01. Same here, and same here. And we, for sure, we give the line. Of course, it has to be given by the ruler, but I can't now. You do it on your copybooks in a ruler. What do I still have to do? I have to be writing the title. What do I say? Just a second. I say graph showing what, يمس؟ هو شو قال لي؟ قال لي draw the characteristic UI curve. So graph showing the characteristic UI curve. UI curve. What do I have obtained? I have obtained a straight line passing through the origin. Now we will say إنه it's a straight line passing through the origin. So what's the benefit I'm taking here from the straight line passing through the origin? The benefit that when I prove that the characteristic UI is a straight line passing through the origin, I prove that this electrical device is a resistor. When I'm proving that this electrical device is a resistor, so it follows Ohm's law, so the resistance EMS, it will be equal to U over I. Let's try here. Let's try calculating the resistance. U over I, يعني I have to be dividing the voltage over the current. هلا, in the first case 0 over 0, it's not acceptable to write 0 in the denominator, so we will not putting an answer. يعني هون رح يطلع the voltage over current will be equal to 0 over 0. It will be having a 0 in the denominator, which is an indeterminate form in math. عشان هيك we will not be writing it. The second one, 1 over 0.01, it will be equal to 100. 2 over 0.02, it will be equal to 100. 3 over 0.03 as well, and 4 over 0.04 as well. Teacher, when I'm speaking in this way, هذا resistance, even though طلعت معي 99, 98, 97, it's still very close to each other. So I'm having a resistor, and the resistor is having the resistance R equal U over I. As by Ohm's law till this point, I calculated the resistance, which is the first benefit. Okay, hope it's clear till now. Let's continue. Just stop the video, copy the notes, and let's continue together. I want to be adding just a point before moving from the Ohm's law into another thing. In order, sometimes I'm asked to calculate the voltage, sometimes the resistance, sometimes the current. That's why we have to be understanding the pyramid. تعيل الأومز law. And this is the pyramid of Ohm's law, which is very simple in the calculation. It facilitated the calculation. It will be having here U, and down it will be having I and R. Between the upper and lower parts we have a division. Same here, we have a division. Between the two parts below we have a multiplication. شباب, when I want to be calculating U, for example, I consider that U is hidden. إذن I'm going to calculate U, I consider that U is hidden. U is not present anymore. So U equal. When U is hidden, what remains? Remains I and R. And what's the sign between them? Is an U equal I times R. هيدي the first equation. Second one. When I want to be calculating I consider that I is hidden. I hide I. What remains? U and R. What is the relation between them? It's division. So I equal U over R. Third one. When I want to be calculating the resistance, I consider it's hidden. So R equal U over, is an R will be equal to U over I. يلا, U, what is U? It is the voltage. What its unit? Unit هي volts, واللي بختصرها بcapital V. So what's I? I is the current or the intensity of current. What its unit? Its unit is ampere, and its symbol is capital A. And what its R? R is the resistance of a resistor, and this resistance, the unit will be ohm as we said, and its symbol has this shape. Let's move now from the Ohm's law to something new. Okay, so now we will be starting by the part C, and the part C will be the ohm meter. From the very start of the electricity, we are used to deal with an electrical device which is called a multimeter. هذا المultimeter, as we said previously, it measured many electrical quantities. It measures sometimes the current, sometimes the voltage, or sometimes the ohm. We said it has a switch here, and we have voltage, we have volts, we have ohm, and we have ampere, if you remember, right? So, and here down we have الcom. Previously we didn't know, but we have A, we have V, and also we have the letter ohm, which refers to the measuring of the resistance. So, هيدي screen for sure. So, what is an ohm meter يا شباب? Ohm meter will be, it's a multimeter functioning an ohm meter. إذن it's a multimeter functioning as ohm meter. So the ohm meter, it's an instrument which is used to what? Used to measure the resistance of a resistor. That's good. So now we will be making a direct application as an evaluation. Please try to, just a second, yes, please try to stop your video solving exercises, then try to get the answer from the video. We will be working by exercises 5, 6 and 7 on your physics copybook. Let's start with the exercise 5. It's given that The voltmeter and the ammeter of figure 9 give 6 volt and 12 milliampere. Of course, when I'm speaking about the voltmeter, it will be measuring the voltage. The voltage given is U equal. So U equal 6 volt. أهم شيء I have to be making sure إنه it's an SI unit, so it's okay. Then the ammeter measuring 12 milliampere, يعني I is equal to 12 milliampere. Milliampere for sure is not the SI unit of current. I have to be multiplying by times 10 to the power minus 3 to be in ampere. So I will be having 0.12 ampere. So the current I is a milliampere. I have to be multiplying by 10 to the power minus 3 to be in ampere, so it will be equal to 0.012 ampere. I have to be calculating the resistance R according to Ohm's law. U equal Ri, then the resistance will be equal to U over I. By substituting, the resistance will be equal to 500 ohm. Let's continue. Let's start by exercise 6. Regarding the exercise 6, he's asking, calculate the current carried by a resistor of resistance 100 ohms. So what is the given at this point? The given is the resistance. I'm having a resistance R equal 100 ohm. When the voltage across it is 24 volt, I'm having the voltage, so U equal 24 volt. كمان I have to be calculating the current. كمان I say according to Ohm's law. I always mention the law لأنه it's to be noted. ماشي. Then according to Ohm's law, U equal IR. Then I this time is equal to U over R is equal to 24 over 100. It will be equal in this case to 0.24. And what is the unit? The unit is ampere. And I'm calculating the current. Great. Now exercise 7. Please stop the video, copy the exercises, then continue. Now regarding to exercise 7, calculate the voltage across a dry cell. So we are asked to calculate the voltage which sends a current of 200 milliampere. The current sent is 200 milliampere. Of course, milliampere is not the SI unit of current. I have to be multiplying by 10 to the power minus 3, so it will be equal to 0.2 ampere. Then in a resistor of resistance 51 ohm, the resistance given is 51 ohm. It's in SI unit, so it's okay. I have to be calculating the voltage. I say according to Ohm's law, U equal Ri or IR the same, then it will be equal to 51 times 0.2, and the answer will be equal to 10.2. What is the unit? I'm calculating voltage. The unit is volt. Okay, copy everything miss on your copy books. Anything that's missing, things that you wrote previously in the classroom by the very beginning, it's okay. The other things, please copy them on your copy books. You'll not be given an assignment and you have exams. Study well on your exams. Best of luck, miss.